Hello everybody, welcome to this presentation of Unit 1, which is about first impressions, okay? So, let's get started. Here I have a quote that I want to share with you. Okay, first impressions. Here's an interesting fact. The average person forms a first impression of someone in less than 30 seconds. First impressions are the opinions someone has about you when you meet for the first time. What is your smile telling the other person? What is the way you dress saying about you? These factors can make a difference in the way the person thinks about you. Okay? Now, I want you to notice the tenses that we are using in the verbs that are highlighted. Okay? We have like forms, are, has, meet, is, telling, is again, saying, and thanks. Well, this is the grammar point that we're going to be reviewing this time, which is simple present versus present progressive. I know that this is not the first time that you're studying this, so it's going to be a quick review for you. Okay, first of all, let's remember that simple present is used to describe routines and habits. Also, you can use it to talk about general facts, schedule events, and timetables. Let's see some examples. First impressions are the opinions someone has about you when you meet someone for the first time. Now, number 2, people form a first impression in less than 30 seconds. Here we are just trying to give a short definition for first impression, so we are just using simple present. Okay, so when do we use simple present? As we were saying before, we can use it for general facts and permanent situations, routines and habits, schedule events, and timetables. Let's take a look at the first examples. If I say, we live in El Salvador, this can be a permanent situation unless we are planning to move to another country, right? So this is going to continue as something permanent, right? If we're not planning to move to any other place. Okay, the Earth rotates around the sun. Here we're talking about a general fact, which means that it's very unlikely to change. Or if I say that the sun rises every morning, this is something general, it's a fact. We cannot change it. Routines and habits. For example, my brother gets up at 7 a.m. or we take a shower every day. We are talking about routines or habits. Now, schedule events. Classes start on Monday morning. This is something that was already planned ahead, so I am just saying that classes start on Monday morning. The meeting finishes at 3:30 p.m. Here I am providing a specific time. Now, let's remember what's present progressive. The present progressive describes temporary events. This is very important, or changing situations. We can use it to describe what is in progress in this moment or what is happening around the present time. For example, what is your smile telling the other person? Look at these two women. Maybe they are not smiling right now, but maybe she's thinking, I am working on how to give a good impression in my next job interview. Okay, now let's take a look at some examples. Remember that we are going to use them. We are going to use present continuous to talk about what is in progress right now or around the present time. And temporary events or changing situations. For example, in the pictures, we can see a vaccine and a person maybe working or checking her cell phone. So right now, I can say medical researchers are working to find a coronavirus vaccine. This is something that is in progress right now. It can take maybe like a year or more time, okay? That will depend on the research. Now, Most people are working from home. This is something that is happening around the present time, okay? And it can change at any moment. Temporary events. Okay, we are staying at home during the lockdown. This is something temporary because it's happening in a period of time, maybe like for 15 days, 30 days, right? Depending on what is going to happen. God willing, we are going to go out after everything like finishes, right? And air quality is improving in most of the countries. This can be something, temporary or something that can change at any time. We hope that it can be better. Okay, so now in this slide, we're gonna see what's the difference with simple present and present progressive. Okay, uh, remember that we have some expressions that are gonna help us to identify the difference with these tenses. Expressions like always, usually, often, sometimes, never, frequency adverbs are used with simple present. Or time expressions like on Mondays, once a week, twice a month, let's see, every weekend, right? So we're going to use them also with simple present. But with present progressive, we can use expressions like at the moment, right now, these days, this year, tonight, and more. Here, I want to show you some differences and one similarity that they have. Remember that both of them are used to describe present time. But simple present, we use it to describe permanent situations, facts, or habits. Present progressive describes temporary events or things that are in progress or around now. Okay, let's continue with the following. This is something very important to remember, okay? When we talk about simple present, we need to talk about steady verbs. What are steady verbs? Remember that they describe a state rather than an action. They aren't usually used in present continuous. Why? For example, I don't know the answer. No, it's a steady verb, okay? So it's expressing something mental. It's not correct to say I'm not knowing. She really likes you. Likes, it's not a steady verb, it's not expressing an action. So she's really liking you is not common to use it. He seems happy. Okay, we're going to use it in simple present. So here we have some common categories of steady verbs. We have more, but these are like the most common ones. We have verbs that express description or other verbs that can be used for measurement, knowledge, emotions, possessions, senses, receptions, and more. You can take your time to study them and study more, okay? Now, let's continue with the following, okay? So, when talking about steady verbs, remember that we can use verbs that have action meanings with both, with simple present and present progressive. Let's see the definition, this information, and examples. Some verbs have both steady in action meanings. So that means that you can use them with present progressive when they have action meanings, okay? And these verbs are like be, the verb have, see, taste, think, and wait, to mention some of them. For example, I think first impressions are important. If we use think as I believe, that is a steady verb. Do you have? If we use have for own or possession, that is a steady verb. She's the new teacher. We are using be for description. He noticed that he doesn't see. If we use see for view, we are using a steady verb. But if we want to use those verbs for actions, we can use them for with present continuous. I am thinking. I am using my mind. Okay, I am doing that action. We can use it with ing. Are you having? I am talking about experience, not possession. Okay, so if I use experience as the verb have, we can use it with ing form. She's being friendly. She's acting. He's seeing the eye doctor. I am using see as like he is meeting the doctor. Okay, so here we have the differences in meaning, but remember that we can use both. These verbs are the most common ones, not all of them, okay? Remember that. So, after studying all this information, I invite you to continue practicing with the next activities, okay? Thank you.